In this video, I'll be giving you 5 shooting tips on how to improve your shot percentage in 2K24. If you use all 5 of these today, you will improve your shot percentage by 10%. But if you watch this video the whole way through, there will be one secret shooting tip that nobody really talks about that will get you from shooting 30% all the way up between 60 and 70%. Just to show you where I'm at right now, my shooting percentage is at a 65. No one can win. It's a little sorry right now. I gotta clean that up later. The tip number 1, choose your release timing wisely. I see so many people flip-flop going back and forth between jump, set point, push, and release. For jump, you might want to look at the feet. As soon as he leaves the ground, that's the cue to release it. Set point, as soon as the ball reaches the top of the player's head, that's when you let go. Push, as soon as it reaches the top of his head and he moves it slightly, that's when you let go. And release is as soon as it leaves his fingertips, that's when you let go. Tip number 2, turn off your shot meter. You don't understand how many people still have this meter on today, still playing 2K. Just turn off your shot meter. It gives you a boost. There's no reason to use a shot meter. And if you're having trouble with it, practice in Gatorade Gym, Lethal Shooter area, Chris Brickley, any of those places will get your jump shot right. Number 3, keep track of your hotspot. I done seen so many people complain about not making their shots, holding it the same way the whole time and still missing their shots. And then you look at their hotspots, they're all cold. If they're all cold, it's gonna take you a little bit longer. But if you have like 1 or 2 cold spots, take 10 minutes out of your day, go to the sunset court, check to see what you have to work on, which hotspot you wanna gain. Play against disco and keep shooting from those same spots until that area turns into a hotspot. It might take 1-2 games maybe to get it to a hotspot, 1 game to get it to neutral, and another game to get it to a hotspot. And obviously you gotta shoot pretty good in that area, so try not to miss. And as you can see, after playing 1 game, the cold spot that I previously had in the mid-range went straight to neutral. So the method does work. You keep going at it. 2 games, it will get you at hotspots. 1 game if it's neutral, but if it's cold, 2 games, an easy hotspot. And make sure you're doing your lethal shooter drills every Monday or at least once a week. It resets every Monday and it gives you purple lethal zones for 2 spots for 1 week. And in those spots are an 80% chance you're gonna green your shot. If you're a corner man, get your hot spots in the corner. If you're a guard, pick the spots you usually go to. If you do midi phase, get some in the midi. It's all a preference, but make sure you do that so all the shots that you usually take are always gonna have a higher chance of going in. If you are having trouble timing your jump shot, tip number 4, just wait for your player to stop moving. There's some catch animations where in your break, catch it, he turns around, he does all this extra nonsense, all that stuff. Wait till you see him completely stop before you start holding X. It's gonna give you the normal animation to actually shoot your shot. Anything other than that, it's gonna give you a fade, a runner, maybe it's gonna do some weird step back animation if you spam X too much. The easiest thing for you to do right now is just to wait till he stops moving and then start holding X or square. Tip number 5. If you get tip number 4, then you can start working on tip number 5, which is understanding the catch animations and understanding the moving animations. If you're like me and you play rec, there's gonna be sometimes you need to take the moving shot. Those fades and those runners that you didn't want to shoot when you're trying to get your regular jump shot, you can green those, but they're a lot harder. The timing's different and it's something that actually has to be practiced. So if you understand that certain catches actually speed up your shot animation when you hold X at a certain time, you can time that. And if you have your Q down, you can green that shot. The runners you can green too, but you can't be holding RT so you could get an actual runner instead of a fade. You hold RT before you catch the ball, you're gonna get the fade and it's gonna be harder to time because they did nerf fade, so it doesn't go in as often. But without holding RT, you do get a runner timing jump shot, which can be green just as easily as your regular standstill jump shot. And if you made it all the way to this point in the video, thank you. Here's the bonus tip that people do not talk about enough in 2K that can actually boost your jump shot at least 10%. And that is understanding the gaps in defense, and if your shot is fast enough to actually get it off on time and be counted as an open shot or a wide open shot. If you watch any comp pro-am or any pro-am at all, these shots would be called boots. Now the key to shooting those is actually not even looking at the player with the ball. If you're catching the ball, it's looking at the defense. If you see them sagging off, or you know they're going to move or rotate or help, as soon as you catch it, just hold X and go into your normal jump shot and time it regular. With your judgment, they should not be able to recover in time, and if they are, it would only be an open shot. Sometimes you might get a contest, but the thresholds on contest this year is not as good as it was last year. This year, I've seen so many people hit red contests, yellow. When you're dribbling the ball though, you have to look for your window as well. If they sag off just a little too much, you can see that they have their hands up already. They're not going to get a good enough contest if they're far enough to actually make your shot miss. So you can still hit those 12%. You can still hit those 10s, 8s, or 5s, no problem. Sometimes they're even going to be open. They might not even get a good enough contest for them to actually register as anything other than open. And on the rare chance something happens, maybe they might hit a screen too hard, they might stumble from an ankle breaker, and it's going to be a wide open shot.